clean off that. Hello. I am just cleaning off my camera so you guys can hear me. Hello. Hello. Hello, 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 party people. How you guys doing tonight? Woo! Hey, family, I'm Coach Cass. Welcome to another edition of Love and Business. So if you're just tuning in and you don't know who I am, I'm a love coach and matchmaker, and I'm here to just pour into you. If you missed our special in part 1 where I talked about can you have love and business, you got to make sure to find out how to get that previous recording. Feel free to email me, coach@inspiremany.com, to get the information on how to get it, okay? So let me just make sure that I have all of my faculties in order. If you're just tuning in, can you please let me know? Hello, 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 ladies and hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? It's Coach Cass, baby, your love coach and matchmaker. I'm so happy that you're back. Oh my goodness. And if you're just getting your faculties in order, I just need to know, can you hear me? I need to know, can you hear me? So if you guys are just tuning in, please give me a little shout out and show me that you can hear me. I need to know that you can hear me so I don't end up doing a full presentation and you guys can't hear me. Hello? So if you're just tuning in, please state right now if you can hear me. So if you guys are just tuning all right, it looks like you can hear me, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this is part 2 of Love and Business. Last week, I was talking about, can you really have love and business at the same time? Can you have success in both of them? And I shared some juicy tips of how you can really succeed in both parts of your life. And I've gotten many calls and emails about it. So if you missed out on part 1, child, you need to go ahead and email me to see how you can get you a copy. It's coach@inspiremany.com. So what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? Well, let me tell you, family, one of the things that I've found out, well, let's just stop right here. Wait a second. What are you guys sipping on tonight? I need to know a little something. I'm just what you call nosy. So can you guys hear me? I feel like there's a little bit of a lag on my internet. Can you guys hear me? It looks like it's pausing. Let's just stop right here. Wait a second. Can you guys hear me? I just need to see that you guys can hear me. Tuning in. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm going to keep going. It looks like I'm choppy, but I'm going to pray that I'm not choppy and you guys can hear and see me just fine. All right. So here we go. Who am I? Who are you? Hopefully you're in the right place at the right time. If you're an individual that has ever been in a relationship or you'd like to be in a relationship, you're in the right place at the right time. The main focus of this series is just to help you get to the next level when it comes to love. So often what I see is that individuals will focus so much on business, how much more money I can make, how much more money I can spend, what's my next marketing plan. But when does love come into the picture? It comes into the picture somewhere around 11 p.m. I'll tell you that much. And just in case my tech team is looking out for me, just make sure that our bandwidth is okay. Okay, guys? All right. So in terms of when it comes to love, too many times individuals do not pay attention to what love is and what love can do for business. I'm telling you, there is a return on investment when it comes to love. I am telling you. And if you're just tuning in, hey, I'm Coach Cass. Nice to meet you. Love coach and matchmaker with inspiremany.com. Essentially, I work with successful single women that have everything but a man. Hello? Okay, so you know somebody that has everything but a man. That woman that's been doing the darn thing, but love just hasn't worked out for her. And today I'm specifically speaking to those who want to do better in their relationships overall. So if you're someone that owns a business, that you know you've done amazing things in your life, and you've just wondered, can I make it when it comes to a relationship? You're in the right place at the right time. So if you don't know me, I just want to give you a little background on me, right? So essentially, over a decade ago, I was in a relationship, and I thought that person was the one, right? I really swore that this person, we traveled. I just knew that I knew that this is the person I was going to spend my life with until Christmas Eve, right? So I got a call on Christmas Eve. Pring, pring, right? Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, Cass, are you sitting down? Yeah, I'm sitting down. What's up? Well, you know that guy you've been dating that you think's so great? Yeah. Well, he's married. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where to go. Literally, I was in a really dark place. What a good way to ruin Christmas, right? And essentially, what happened to me from there, of course, I stepped away from that relationship, but it just put me in a space of darkness. I just want to be straight up. I made some wrong decisions after that relationship. It didn't get really better. I was in toxic relationships. Has anybody here ever been in a toxic relationship that they knew they shouldn't have been in? Oh, child, boo. Anyway, so I remember it was a couple of years, and I remember just sitting on my couch saying, you know what? There's got to be more than this, because I would look around and I get the phone calls and the invitations, and I'd see girlfriends and guy friends getting married and having fun and happy in relationships, having children. And I was just like, well, what about me? There's got to be something up. I realized that the common denominator was me when it came to all these failed relationships. So I became a student of love. I literally read almost 100 books on love. Oh my goodness. It became my magnificent obsession. Eating it all. Yes, I went to therapy. It's important to address your mental health and what you've been through. Yes, I had coaching. It's so important. And then I literally got to a really healthy place and a healthy state when it came to me. And I started to realize that so many women like me didn't focus on this. So many people don't focus on love. Now, I'll let you know, fast forward, I've built a beautiful foundation in myself, in my relationship, to where I'm now married to an amazing man. Oh, that's that way. Yeah, to an amazing man. And I have a beautiful child. You can see the top of her head there, Ava. So Andy and Ava, my two A's, that's my A team. And I'm really blessed. And so now my main focus is to be a part of your testimony. I truly believe that if you put love at the center of your life, everything else overflows, literally. So, let me just check in with you guys. What you guys drinking? I'm sipping on water just because I'm speaking. Could be sipping on a little something else later. But what are you guys drinking right now? If you're just chiming in. Oh, I see you, Nicole. Hey, Ebony. What's going on, guys? So I need to know, what are you guys drinking this evening? What are you sipping on? So type that in and I'll keep going, and I'll make sure to give you guys a shout out as we go along. Ooh, Nico is cran grape. See, that's good stuff. Cran grape is good stuff. Okay, cran grape. I see you. All right, what else are we drinking? So just in case you guys are just tuning in, my name is Coach Cass, love coach and matchmaker with inspiremany.com, also known as Dr. Cassandra Enriquez. And my main focus is really to have you have more love in your life. So hit share below as this presentation goes on, and you find the value, go ahead and hit share. Share it. Let other people know what's going on in the group. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? Part 2. Love and business. One thing I've come to find out is everybody, when I say everybody has insecurities. There's something deep down inside of you that you're afraid that your significant other or your future significant other is going to find out about you and they might leave you. You're afraid, maybe, just maybe, that you might be a doormat. You're afraid, maybe, just maybe, that that person might cheat on you, might be using you, might have ulterior motives. There's a fear masked as insecurity that you need to let go of. I said it. And I know nobody's going to shout it out, so I understand. I won't put you out there, but you already know. If you hit share, just hit like so I know that you hear me, okay? So what's so important about understanding your insecurities? Oh, Nicole is drinking tea. Really nice. I need some tea. So why are addressing and conquering your insecurities important? So we're going to talk about the 5 ways that you could conquer your insecurities. And the reason why this is important to your relationships, which then spills over to your business, is because if you're holding back in your love life, guess what? More than likely, you're holding back in other parts of your life. So then guess what? You're not making the money that you want. You're not looking the way that you want. And you're just not happy. You're not happy to the fullest extent. I know for some of you, you're having a party all the time, but you still feel alone. I was there. Listen to me. I was in a relationship before where I could be literally surrounded by people, but I felt like the only person that could understand me was me. Nobody else could understand me. Nobody else got it. I just felt alone in this world. Can anybody relate? Can you relate? Have you ever felt alone in this world? Whether or not you're in a relationship, it does literally having somebody sit next to you or say I do doesn't automatically make loneliness go away. You could live in a house full of people and still feel lonely, unfortunately. Okay, so I want you to start writing this down. Okay, so the 5 tips to conquering insecurity. Okay, 5 tips for conquering insecurity. So number 1, you want to determine the cause. You want to determine the cause. And if you're paying attention, I want you to type it in the chat so that we know that you're paying attention. So go ahead and type in determine the cause. That's number 1 in terms of conquering your insecurities. So why do we need to determine the cause? And I'm watching you guys. I need you to start typing. Hello. Many of you are tuning in. I see you. So why should you determine the cause of your insecurity? More than likely, it does not lie with the person you're in a relationship with or seeking to be in a relationship with. It starts with you. I had a retreat 2 years ago, right? And I had a young lady come to the front of the room, and she was just overwhelmed with this guilt that she felt that whoever she was going to be with would cheat on her. And literally, most of the relationships she had been in, she had been cheated on. Can anybody say amen? Ever been cheated on? Okay. All right. So she came up to the front of the room and literally broke down in tears because when we got to the cause, right? When we started to see what was causing the insecurity, her insecurity came from seeing her father cheat on her mother. She witnessed her father cheat on her mother and the breakdown of that relationship. They still stuck it out, but the breakdown was still there. So because of the dysfunction in the relationship she saw firsthand, it then trickled into her life, into her psyche, into her subconscious, into her daily thoughts, to where literally every time somebody said, hello, my name is, what's your name, with a nice smile, she just thinks to herself, you're going to cheat on me too. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking like, yeah, I do have that thought. Listen to me. I had a close older woman who's been a mentor of mine in my life say to me, listen, Cass, every man cheats. Bah. Guess what? That person is no longer my mentor. Guess what? That is not the truth. Guess what? There are faithful individuals in this world and they're waiting for you. But it starts with understanding you need to determine the cause of your insecurities, because there's something there that's playing into your mind, that's then playing into your actions, that's then playing into your life. And you can't let that thing take over. You can't let that thing just infiltrate every area of you, because just imagine right now she wasn't able to be in a strong loving relationship because she wouldn't trust the individual she was with and didn't even give them a chance. Hello? So it's so important for you to look at what is the cause of my insecurity. You have to be real with yourself, honey. Long story short, you have to be real with yourself. So if you're just tuning in right now, because I know you guys are sharing, and thank you for liking and sharing this video. My name is Coach Cass with InspireMany.com, love coach and matchmaker. We're talking about the 5 tips to conquer insecurities so you can flourish in your relationships and in your business. Because we understand that when your love is right, your money is right. Hello? When your love is right, your money is right. You guys can go ahead and tweet that out. All right? So what are we talking about? So now, number 1 to conquering your insecurities was determine the cause. Number 2 is negotiate relationship rules. Negotiate relationship rules. So what does that mean exactly, Coach Cass? Understand that every relationship kind of operates like a business. And there are some things that are fundamental needs in your relationship. There's some things that just need to happen for you to feel secure. There are just some things that need to happen for you to be. That doesn't mean that that person always has to be there, always has to be around, always has to check in. But you need to know. Number 2, negotiate those relationship rules. So what does that mean, Coach Cass? All right. So look at it like this. I remember for my husband and I, we talked about money, right? Because they say that finances and the lack of communication about finances is a high cause to divorce, right? So we talk about money, and we have talked about money. It's an ongoing conversation. But one of the conversations, thank you so much for posting that up, negotiate your relationship rules. So that's number 2. I want you guys to type that out. Negotiate relationship rules. So I know that you're paying attention. All right. So when it comes to, so when we were talking about money, when we first got married, one of the questions I had to ask was, what is a comfortable amount of money for you to be in our savings account? What would make you comfortable in terms of money in our savings account? Because I understand that my husband is a saver. And yes, I am a spender to some extent, but there's something there that's a cushion that allows him to feel secure with my spending. Does this make sense? So for my married folk, for my people in a relationship, for folks that have intertwined money, which I only condone folks who are married to mix their money, because otherwise it could be real messy, right? So I'm going to say, for those who eventually be married and those who are married, when it comes to your money, I really need you to, number 1, take the course, Financial Peace University. That's a really good class to speak about money in layman's terms. Like, for instance, my husband and I, we came to realize that we don't need to keep up with the Joneses. Shoot, we don't know the Joneses, right? So why do I need a $5 million home when sitting at home isn't my idea of a good time always, right? So I'd rather travel the world. So in terms of what's important in terms of finances, is so important. So in negotiating those relationship rules, you want to look at your finances. What's important to you in terms of spending? So if you're a spender and she or he is a saver, how do you come to a place where you're both comfortable? So for me, I need to be able to book a flight, book a trip, and say, hey, babe, this is where we're going, right? But the only way I can do that is for us to have a certain amount in the bank. So for you, what is that? What is that number? I need you to be finite. I need you to think about that. What is that number for you? What is that number for your significant other? And then how do you have that conversation to say, okay, Now we're in a good place. Now we can play because we have this amount. Because I know some people that literally feel strangled in their relationship because they can't spend any money or they can't save any money. So it becomes really, really hard. So you want to negotiate. Let me type this out because you guys are tripping. You're not typing it out for me. Relationship, right? So negotiate the relationship rules. So what else is a negotiation? Okay, so time together. Okay, so right now, Andy and I, we go walking at least twice a week. That's something that we spoke about. That's something that we said, okay, this is important to us to go walking together as a family, to be in nature. Read a book by he's a pastor. He's married to Megan Good. I forgot his name. It's my bad. Devin Franklin, right? So one of the things he said was on the seventh day, to do something different, to get in touch with nature. We need to get outside, right, guys? When was the last time you went outside? When do you set those rules, those boundaries, those things in order? And for the ladies and the gentlemen out there, if you're in the dating stage, what are the rules for your relationship? How long are you going to date before you make this thing official? Hello? Hello, right? So you want to talk about your goals, your annual goals, your quarterly goals, your monthly goals. And I'm not saying that this needs to be a business meeting all the time, but it's so important for you to understand what are the rules to your relationship. What's okay versus what's not okay. Is it okay? Are you okay with your significant other going to lunch with someone else, right, of the opposite sex? Are you okay with that? Can you talk that out? You talk about things before they suddenly come up, right? And if they do come up, to still talk about it, right? I remember I did some things that, made Andy uncomfortable, and we talked about it. And guess what? I ain't do it again, right? So sometimes we mess up, right? And you have to say, all right, I was wrong. How do I make it right? If you're seeking to have a good relationship. Now, if you want a crappy relationship, you want the relationship to go to hell in a handbasket, then do something else. All right. So we're talking about the five tips to conquer your insecurities in relationships that then help your business flourish, right? Okay. Once you conquer them. And number one was determine the cause. Number two, we talked about negotiating your relationship rules. Number three, you want to avoid mind reading. Avoid mind reading. Okay, so what does that mean? So many times I've spoken to a client, all right, and they say to me, well, he should have known, or she should have known, or I would have never done that. I've come to realize that the reason why we get angry is because we think, I would have never done that. Think about it. The only reason you get upset is because, why do you do that? I'd never do that. Why'd she do that? I'd never do that, right? So we always consistently think of why we wouldn't have done something, which is just the nature of the beast. But you have to understand that that person comes from a different household. I remember seeing a presentation on cultural competency, and the presenter made such a poignant point. She said, hey, I grew up in the same household as my sister, yet we are two totally different individuals. Do you have a sibling? Are you totally different from your sister or brother, even though they were in the same house? I remember I went to a church for the majority of my childhood, and some of the individuals that went to the same church hated it, right? We talk about it now. They're like, oh, that lady was so mean, and oh, that lady did this to me, and that person was the worst. And I didn't have that experience. I thought everybody was awesome, right? So it's all in perspective. Even though you're in the same place, the same environment, doesn't mean that you take things the same way. So it's so important to ask for clarification. You got to ask for clarification. Literally, you cannot be a mind reader. So if you don't understand a situation, ask a question. Even ask, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? Because sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes we don't get it. For instance, I remember I got in trouble, right? So I'll share my business. Y'all nosy anyway, right? So I remember I let one of my childhood friends sleep on my couch, right? He was in town from California, something we're used to doing, no problem. Come sleep over. This was in my dating stages with Andy. And I invited Andy to sleep over. I said, hey, honey, you can sleep over too, but I'm just letting you know, my friend, is coming to sleep over, this whole time. Yeah, he didn't appreciate that very much, right? Guess what? That was the last time Omar slept over, right? So I got to let you know that I respected his wishes, even though I know our friendship, even though nothing's going to happen, even though I trust myself, I trust him. That's the relationship. He's like a brother. I still respected his wishes, right? So that's a whole nother training in terms of respect. But I'll let you know, the very foundation of a man wants to be respected, and the very foundation of a woman wants to be loved. And we could go back and forth just in terms of studies. That is what it shows. Men want to be respected, women want to be loved. So I respected him enough, right, to ask him the question. And then I understand that, look, all right, it won't happen again. So no mind reading, avoid mind reading. All right. So top 3, if you're just tuning in, this is Coach Cass, your love coach and matchmaker. Hit share if you're getting something good from this. Hello. So you determine the cause, negotiate relationship rules, avoid mind reading. Number 4, quit the comparison game. Quit the comparison game. So I want you to type that out. Quit the comparison game. So what does that mean, Coach Cass? What does that mean? Quit the comparison game. All right. So look at it like this. When it comes to a relationship, oftentimes what I find with my ladies, right, and even our gentlemen, but I mainly work with women, is that when a man does something that reminds you of your last relationship, you automatically just write him off. Oh, well, he's just like the last guy. Here we go again. Oh, why am I even in this situation, right? So you end up comparing him to the last person. And that doesn't work. That's no good. That hinders your relationship if you continuously live in the past. I need you to drop those bags, honey. I need you to drop those bags. And if you're having trouble dropping those bags, I can help you do that, right? So what's going on? What's going on here? I need you to know that it's not necessary to drag the bags into the new relationship. So you have to quit the comparison game. So with my relationship, I shared the story in part 1, and I'm going to share it again just for those of you who didn't watch part 1, right? So essentially when Andy and I first started dating, once again, messing up. So I remember we were at his cousin's house and his phone rang. And he went out to the car, and he was out there for a while. And so that started to make me think of my ex that would go to the bathroom or go out to the car or go missing for a while and be on the phone. And I found out that he was cheating, right? So I went outside, I said to myself, I'm going to play it cool. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to see what he's doing. Just go by the car, Don't know what the heck I was doing. So I stood by the car, and he was in the car and on the phone. And he told the person, hold on. And he wound down the window, and he looked at me in the eyes, and he said, Cass, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. All I could say was, and I just walked back in the house, right? I said, okay, Cass, if you want this relationship to work, you need to let go of all the preconceived notions, because this is a different man. And that's the same thing for you. I need you to let go of the past. So if you're in a marriage right now, right, and you've decided to forgive, because I'm pretty sure that he or she has messed up at some point in your relationship, I need you to stop holding on to whatever they did. If you're going to forgive, let that thing go. When you're able to let things go in your relationship, you're able to let things go in your business. And sometimes you need to let go of things in your business in order to create space for something amazing to happen. That happens in love, life, and business. All the same rules apply. So what you gonna do? I need you to let that thing go. Okay? Quit the comparison game. Number five. Number five, I need you to look for the positive. Look for the positive. So what does that mean? Look for the good things. Hello? Look for the good things when it comes to relationships. Sometimes I tell you, ladies, we can be pretty bad when it comes to relationships and looking at the positive. Usually we're complaining. Just think about it. The last time you spoke to your girlfriend, last time you spoke to a friend, if the guys are tuning in, right? Last time you spoke to your girlfriend, more than likely they were complaining about something, right? They were complaining about their job, their man, their lack of a man, their weight, their hair. Somebody said something that offended them. What happened on Facebook, politics, religion, whatever it may be. Majority of conversations end up in the negative within 5 minutes, which is so unfortunate. So it is literally a reprogramming to look for the positive in your relationship. And I want you to do this daily. And this is for the single or for the married, right? So for the single, guess what? Nobody wants to be with you if you're negative. And for the married, nobody wants to be with you if you're negative. So every single day, you have to look for the positive. So for me, there was a point in time on my cell phone, I literally would look on my phone and set in the calendar, say thank you 3 times. Why was I doing that? To remind myself that my husband doesn't work for me, right? And when he was my boyfriend, he didn't work for me. Sometimes we could treat our significant others and those closest to us like employees. And they don't work for you. For some of you, they do, but still, there needs to be a time where there's a differentiation between your partner in life and an employee or somebody you work for. So you need to come together and say, okay, we're here together, and this is what I thank you for: the dishes, picking me up, being on time, asking about my day, caring. You know, there's little things, but literally just saying that word, thank you, makes a huge difference. Joel Osteen often talks about depositing in your bank, right? So I say your love bank. It's so important. Oh, good, Nico. You still thank your husband for opening the door for you 3 years later. There we go, right? It's not guaranteed. It's not. It is definitely not guaranteed, because one day he might not open that door. You want people to know that their absence will hurt. You know, you want them to know that their presence is a blessing, and you're so happy to have it, right? So happy to have it. So what was I saying? Oh, so depositing in the love bank. How many times are you depositing on a daily basis into that love bank with that significant other, with that person that you love, right? With that person you're in a relationship with? How many times are you depositing into that bank? Because you can't make a withdrawal. You can't start going crazy, right, with your hands on your hip and your and the yelling and the screaming if you haven't deposited in that account. Now, mind you, you should never do that, because that doesn't help anybody, right? The power of a woman is in her softness. You know, often we look to Claire Huxtable as a great role model. Now, mind you, she was a figment of imagination, and she was an actress. Who knows what Felicia Rashad really did in real life? But, you know, just in terms of a ideal person, she got her way always, but she did it in a manner where she was respectful and loving. Except for that one time where Elvin just, you know, crossed the line. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so what do you need to do? You need to stop the comparison right? You need to make sure that you're not doing any mind reading. You're not you need to negotiate those relationship rules, determine the cause of where these insecurities come from, and look for the positive in your relationship. For those of you who are single, literally you could do this in all of your relationships. You don't just have to wait on a man or a woman to come into your life, right? You could practice makes perfect. And for those who are married, pick your partner to do this with, right? Pick that person to work on these things with. And if you know you've been wrong, apologize. Shoot, you was wrong. All right. And I understand that your significant other more than likely isn't sitting here at this webinar looking at this and taking notes. I understand that sometimes you feel like you're always the one that has to be the bigger person. It just is. Okay. If it's either you're happy or you're right. And I'd rather be happy. Okay. So work on it. Do something better, do something different, because like I said, when your love is right, your money's right. Okay, can you say that with me? When your love is right, your money's right. Period, point blank. So for those of you tuning in, my name is Coach Cass. Hey, your love coach and matchmaker. What's up, boo? So I just want to let you know that, like I always say, I am doing a giveaway. So if you email me at coach@inspiremany.com, and tonight's entry word to get into the giveaway, and the giveaway is my 6-week online course for married couples or singles who want to have a flourishing relationship. You get entered in a raffle to get it for free, or you can buy it, right? Hello. So essentially the word for tonight is positivity. Okay, that's the word for tonight. Tonight is positivity. So just email coach@inspiremany.com and put the word positivity in the subject line, and then your name and relationship status in the rest of the email so I could enter you in the raffle. So we're going to do a random raffle after the last training to see who wins. And if you're interested in really enhancing the love in your life and making it a priority, I'm always here to work with you. Okay, so for those of you who have a question, I know love oftentimes is a touchy subject to ask questions about. I'm going to check my inbox really quick to see if anyone inboxed me in the next minute, right? Otherwise, what I will do is I'll allow you to send me questions, and then I'll address them in the last training, which will be next week, same time, same place. Okay. So once again, hey, I'm Coach Cass, your love coach and matchmaker. When your love is right, your money's right. Period. And if you enjoyed this training and understanding the top 5 ways that you could conquer your insecurities, right? So what did we talk about? We talked about number 1, determining the cause. Number 2, negotiating your relationship rules. Number 3, avoid mind reading. Number 4, quit the comparison game. And number 5, look for the positive. Just look for the positive in your relationship, because that's the only way that you're truly going to thrive. And if you enjoyed this, I want you to go ahead and put in the chat, we love Coach Cass. Hey, boo. Just go ahead and put, we love Coach Cass, and hit share. Shoot, don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with somebody. Like it, comment it. Let everybody know that this was an awesome training and they need to watch it too. Okay, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all, and make sure to check out the website, inspiremany.com, inspiremany.com. So let me just make sure that you guys know the website, because I know that sometimes my language isn't too good, right? So inspiremany.com is the website. All right, so I'll meet you guys over there. And in the meantime, in between time, oh my goodness, have a good time. I love you too. Oh, we love Coach Cass. Thanks so much, guys. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Much love, many blessings. Thanks for allowing me to just love on you and to really show you that yes, you can have love and business, but of course you got to make love a priority, and that priority starts with you. Much love, many blessings. Black CEO out.